Hi, welcome back to Shadow Phoenix Healing and Integration Tarot channel. And I've been doing some videos on pre-class learning for the tarot class that's coming up at the end of the month. And it got me all revved up to do some more tarot readings. So I have a pick a card reading for you today. I'm going to put this down so you can see it. And I'm sorry about the light. I had to move from my old videoscape into the kitchen because I had to dismantle that one. So we have a bell. We have some cards there. This is an organite pyramid. I want to say it's black tourmaline. And then we have an orbicular crystal here, beautiful gray, and I just love, I don't know if you can see that, but all the little circles on there just are amazing to me. So pick whichever one of these is calling to you. And we've got starting off with an oracle card of angels and ancestors. I have 3 tarot cards per each, and then ending up with a healing and fairies oracle card at the end. So choose your brass bell, your pyramid, or your gray crystal, and then let's do some reading. Pause it if you have to pick. Excuse me. Sorry, I'm getting back in the group here. All right. It has been a long time since I have done a reading for you guys, and I miss it. I try to only read when I really feel inspired. So if you chose the bell, we're doing the bell first, okay? Starting off with Fire Guardian, ignite your passions. So this is the guardian of fire for passion, for you to get in there and really feel what inflames you and it makes you feel impassioned and motivated. Definitely, this is the sign of fire. So if you work with fire elements, you're going to want to do that. Let's get into the tarot. First off, I had a jumper when I was shuffling for this. This is the 9 of Cups. This is the Wish card. And also, already I'm seeing a theme with the wings. We had a wings on the angel. And then we also have wings on this butterfly. So a little bit of air in there too. And the butterfly, of course, is for transformation and improvement and evolving. And the 9 of Cups is a grant your wishes card. This is the 9, so all 9s have to do with completion, fulfillment, and finishing up in a really good way where things are done right. You feel good about it. Ending cycles and moving on, moving forward. So the 9 of Cups is emotional fulfillment and wishes granted. Okay, how do we do these? King of Wands, 3 of Swords, and Strength. Okay, so there's a ton of fire energy here. King of Wands is going to be any fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, and the Strength card is the card for Leo. So this, if you have that bell, you are in a huge fire element stage right now. Fire is speaking to you, is going to be the answer to a lot of stuff, and we're having some air, so the 3 of Swords. So there's some heartbreak here. Something hasn't gone exactly the way you wanted it to. You're grieving or mourning something. And this 9 of Cups feels really good alongside of this heartbreak because it means that whatever has gone, I don't want to say wrong, but whatever has hurt you is leading to renewal, leading to transformation. And the 3 of Cups usually by itself is a little bit more dismal than that. It just talks about just having pain and heartache. But this 3 of Swords with the 9 of Cups is almost like the Death card, where it's a loss that's leading to a renewal and a revival, to change, to transformation, and a new beginning. So this 9 and this 3 together are really feeling hopeful. So there has been a loss of some sort, but this was my jumper and it wanted to get out. So this 9 of Cups is definitely here to encourage you and inspire you. This King of Wands, this is an animal deck I got from Wish. This is like a badger. Yeah, and he's like in mid-jump in this card. It's hard to see with my too bright lighting, but this guy is absolutely on fire, in attack mode, going for it, impassioned, focused, driven, and making it happen. This strength card is an ox tied to a cart. He's pulling a cart, which is a little bit of a different rendering for strength. I'm not disagreeing with it. But it's almost like two different manifestations of fire energy. There's like one that's quick and gets you, and then the other that is fixed, like Leo, where it's plotting, consistent, committed, follow through, determined, tenacious, and it is not going to stop. And so, like, whatever kind of fire energy you have or need, or maybe it's both. Maybe it's both. Those fixed energies, they get going and it's hard to get in their way. You don't really want to do that. And this fire guardian may be about working from your passion. I had a really great conversation with some women earlier this week about work and fatigue and completion and passion, life purpose, you could even say. And when you are working from your passions, I don't feel like you get as tired. You're in flow, you're in spirit, you're connected. And when you're working and you're connected to this, your higher self, you're also, when you're in flow, you're connected to all of your guides, whatever you call them. And as many as you have, you're connected much more thoroughly with them in your knowing. They're always here supporting us, but when we're in flow, we're also connected to them, not just receiving their help. And so it's more synergistic. It's more of a dialogue between us and spirit, rather than them having to try to, like, you know, force it to us and make it happen and, like, get through to us and get our attention. Excuse me. So there definitely has been something has gone on, which is very, very heartbreaking, and Spirit knows that and wants to comfort you and say that there's going to be renewal, there's going to be a new start, you're going to get wishes granted, and you have what it takes to move this forward. So sometimes this heartbreak could also make us feel like we can't complete what we want to, like we're not powerful enough to do what we want. This is absolutely saying the opposite. And in addition, you have guardians and helpers that are here to help you. We have, for people who use animal totems, we have the elephant, the butterfly, the ox, and it's a badger. I don't know, a wombat? It's a badger. Tasmanian devil. I'll have to read the book, but he's some little badass. Whatever badass animal you are, that sits down there. And then also this angel, guardian of fire. Okay, last but not least, we have the healing with fairies. And this says parenting and children. And there's more. Well, it's fairies, so of course there's going to be wings. Duh, Dory. Oh, I see what it is. It's a mom fairy with a baby fairy. And again, I apologize for my lighting. It's a very dark background using negative space, highlighting the figures with color, which makes it very hard to see on my video. And she has a butterfly in her hand. In addition to having wings, and a child fairy has wings, she has a butterfly too. So a lot of air energy in this as well. And wing, like, almost you can surmount and fly over and, like, go beyond your troubles or whatever is ailing you, whatever is bothering you. So not like escapism, but don't be afraid to leave it behind. Don't feel like because it happened that this is, how's it go? It's a chapter in the story, not the whole book. Don't feel like this has to tie you down or define you, or if there's a person or a situation that you have to have like this really strong sense of loyalty to it. It's okay to fly, and it's okay to teach your kids to fly too. So, and your kids can go with you, so they don't need to hold you back from anything. Parenting and children. This is adorable. I wish you could see it. I apologize that you can't. So, I think that wraps up the bell. Moving on to the pyramid. Pyramid, organite. Oh, I love this stuff. Okay, let's see what's going on for you. Angels and Ancestors card, White Witch, Be the Light. We have an owl, pentacle. Ooh, the owl's got like cool little antlers on there too. I like that. Yep, more wings. A lot of air energy. And, you know, that could be me. I've got a lot of air energy going on. So on her chest, she has like this light etched out figure of wings, like on her chest, like a tattoo. She has moth wings in her hair, and then of course the owl has wings. White Witch, Be the Light. So I'm really feeling from this that there's this message for whoever it is saying, go within and do not be afraid to harness your own knowing, your own power, and don't be afraid to make magic and to get into the situation and drive it a little bit, fix it, make it how you want. Witches do magic, and that is their way of interacting and improving the situation and improving it for themselves. And I don't feel like we need to apologize for that. Sometimes things don't suit us, and it's absolutely okay to fix them so that they suit us. So if you can do that, go for it. And we have King of Wands again, completely different deck. King of Wands. This is a king figure holding a wand like a club, and he has a crown on. He's got tons of light swirling around him. It's a very phallic picture. The king's he's in the center there, very up and down. King of Wands. So again, take charge, use your passion, harness, use what your mama gave you. You got it, go for it. Okay, Page of Wands upside down and King of Chalices upside down. So we have two in the reverse. I don't know if that's the way they came out. Yeah, it is the way they came out. So what this is making me think is that we have some emotion that you may be holding back. And there may be something that you need to say that you're not. And that may be with the White Witch, where talking, not to oversimplify it, but talking is a great way to work your magic and to use that air energy to be able to work your magic. So sometimes just speaking up, advocating for yourself, speaking your truth, does not have to be abrasive or offensive. It can absolutely be just saying, I feel, or I see, or this is what I think is happening, and am I understanding that right? I have in my later years developed some tact, not a lot. I'm a Sagittarius and an Aquarius. It just doesn't happen. But I've tried. So I've developed some ways of just gently asking some very easy, simple questions to help determine. And it's not about what you say. Sometimes it's about communicating that you're aware and you're seeing things. So it's not necessarily about changing the dynamic overtly. It's about letting people know that you're awake and aware and that you're conscious, that you're observing, and that you are going to ask questions. And to a toxic masculinity, patriarchy kind of a status quo, that will be very upsetting. And that's going to let people know that you're not going to be walked on. You're not going to allow other people to be walked on if you're seeing injustice somewhere. And that you can simply say, I'm sorry, what did you mean by that? That was in my Facebook feed last night on a meme. It was great. I'm sorry, what did you mean by that? So, again, there's some very gentle ways to avoid a counterattack, and at the same time, be very upfront about what your intention is and clear that you're going to see something, say something. Easy for me to say. Healing with Fairies Oracle card. Laughter. Oh my gosh, I love this one. That's another one to upset the patriarchy. Laugh at that shit. If you are having a good time, That's the most empowering thing that you can do for yourself. It's the most empowering signal that you can communicate to other people, that you won't be dominated. You're not going to let them rain on your parade. You're not going to let their negativity skew you or your happy day, and that you have an agenda and you are absolutely going to be going through with that stuff. So laughter is also an air vibration magic that communicates powerfully. And it also has the power of emotion behind it, which if you practice law of attraction, you know how important that is to have that positive vibration. So this Page of Wands upside down could be your suppressed laughter. Could be you not having a good time. This King of Chalices could be you having a good time and not letting that out. So it can be that you're upset about something, or you're angry, you need to say something, you need to vent, you need to correct a situation, you need to practice some advocacy, you need to stand up, use that fire energy. Could be that you're having a great time and you need to let that show. And sometimes that takes just as much or more vulnerability to be happy and show you're happy. If you tend to feel like you're waiting for the other shoe to drop, if you're, tend to be on the defense, if you've been in survival mode or traumatized, or you've been in crisis, or you have PTSD, feeling happy and loose and good and confident about that can be very scary, and that's real. And so if you're happy, it's okay to show it, and it's okay, even if other people aren't happy, it's okay for you to be happy. Find peace with you feeling good and them not. Because if we're going to wait for everybody else in the world to feel good for us to give ourselves permission to feel good, we're going to be waiting a long time, and there's just no need to do that. Word. Moving right along. We have the gray stone. So if you pick the gray stone, also good for narcissists. Gray stone method. Okay. First card is Angels and Ancestors. Autumn. Release the old and rest. And we have more wings. This is a black crow. Yep. I thought my card was hurt. Release the old. Let it go. I'm not going to sing the song, but let it go. It's okay to let it go. When it's over and tired and used up and old, just let it go. Throw it away. I have 2 kids. The first one, I save all of his clothes for the second one. They're both boys. And the little one, when he grows out of stuff, I throw it away. I let it go. And it's okay to do that. All right. So what we have here, Son of Cups. So I'm taking this as a Knight of Cups. We have the Chariot, Swan, and Horse. Chariot, Capricorn right there. Chariot's the Capricorn. Excuse me. And if I can count still, 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands is a great empowerment card, if I can recall correctly. And look at that light. This is just light shining in the darkness. I love that. That fire energy at work, all lit up. So let's read these. Definitely a lot of movement in this read. And this says release the old and rest. And I see this also as saying release the old and move forward. Give yourself permission to move forward. You are moving towards something where you are going to come out on top and where you're feeling good. This Cups is great emotion, emotional fulfillment, happiness. Also, being in tune with, being in touch with your emotions and taking action based out of a really great grounded, centered place. So the Knight of Cups is about making emotional offers, connecting with people, taking action to have that relationship and you winding up on top. Not in a domineering way, but if you're letting go of something old, you can easily get bogged down if you don't let that go. And so it's just saying that there's a future victory for you. We have fire, earth, water. So this is a pretty balanced spread. So whoever is doing this is pretty, you're centered, you're using all of your resources. That's excellent. Healing and Fairies card, family harmony. This is nice. I like that. A lot of family cards in this one, huh? So that's the mom. She's a fairy. She's got a little boy. This fairy child does not have wings versus the other fairy child that did have wings. So, yeah, moving forward into that family harmony, having good relationships. Again, talking about that Knight of Cups with making offers where you feel centered and emotional in a good place. You're making good emotional and spiritual connections with other people. And, you know, again, the upper hand, the victory is not necessarily to dominate, but this is just a very gentle way of just saying you're going to be lit up and your light is going to dominate the darkness. So if there's other dynamics or people that are being negative, as you move forward in this water energy, being really connected to spirit, really connected to your emotions, your connectivity is going to be a light for other people, and that's going to give you the upper hand. I mean, you know, when you can set the tone emotionally in a room or in a dynamic and you're coming from a good place, that's positive. That's the kind of personal empowerment that we want and that we want in the world, that is life-giving, positive, nurturing, supportive, and empowering, because somebody connected to themselves is giving other people permission to be connected to their spirit, to their emotions, and to come from a place of personal empowerment in them as well. So you definitely are letting go of something, and this is, you know, supporting you and giving you permission, you know, calling that out. So give that up. Whatever that old stuff is, you're going to know it if this is for you. And then moving forward, and again, horses and swans, and this horse energy, there's not a horse in the Son of Cups page here, card, but these are both horse cards. So again, horse is powerful, intuitive, very strong movement. So again, this releasing the old, moving away from that, moving out of that, moving into the new, taking strides, moving forward with focus, strongly, passionately, even quickly, per se. That applies to you. You'll know. Yeah, so go ahead and do that. All right, folks. Thanks for joining in. It was nice to have you. Take care.